Have you ever really thought about the life of a building? I mean, we see them go up all the time, they become part of our world, but what happens when they come down? Today, we're going to dive into a pretty amazing idea that could completely change our cities: circular construction.
It's a kind of strange question, isn't it? We tend to think of buildings as these permanent things on the skyline, but the truth is, they all have a lifespan. And when that time's up, well, the ending is usually pretty abrupt and pretty messy.
And there it is. The hard reality is that most demolition projects just create a giant mountain of waste. In fact, if you look at all the stuff in our landfills, over a third of it comes from construction and demolition. All that concrete, steel, glass, and wood, it just gets crushed up and hauled away. It's a one-way street from creation to destruction.
But what if it didn't have to be that way? What if we could completely rethink that process? What if a building's end could actually be the beginning of something totally new? That's the big idea we're going to unpack right now.
Okay, so let's get into it. A circular building's journey starts way before the first shovel ever hits the dirt. It all begins with the materials themselves. It's a shift from just asking what's cheap and strong to asking what's smart for the entire life of this building and beyond.
So take bamboo, for instance. And no, not for your patio furniture. This stuff is incredibly strong, it's flexible, and it grows ridiculously fast. That makes it a super renewable resource for actual structural parts of a building.
Or how about this one? You know, fly ash, it's the waste that comes from burning coal. Well, it turns out you can mix it with a few other things and create these amazingly durable bricks. So you're literally taking industrial pollution and turning it into the walls of our homes and offices. How cool is that?
We all know concrete is everywhere, but making it from scratch produces a ton of CO2 emissions. So instead of doing that for every single project, we can take old concrete from buildings that have been torn down, crush it up, and use that as the base for new concrete. It dramatically cuts down on the need for brand new raw materials.
And it's not just the chunky bits of concrete. Even the glue that holds it all together, cement, is getting a huge makeover. I mean, think about this. Making cement is responsible for about 8% of all global CO2 emissions. That's just wild. So you can see why new formulas for low-carbon cement are an absolute game-changer for the entire industry.
So, we've got our smart materials. Now, how do we put them all together? Well, the circular approach totally flips the script on the construction site, mainly by moving a lot of the work away from it. It's known as modular or prefabricated construction. Honestly, the best way to picture it is like building with giant, high-tech Legos. Huge sections of the building are made with incredible precision inside a factory. And get this, that process alone can cut down on-site waste by up to 90%. Then, those finished modules are just brought to the site and assembled. It's faster, it's cleaner, and it's just so much more efficient.
All right, we've covered the materials and the assembly. But this next part? This is where circular construction gets truly visionary. This is all about planning for the building's end, right from the very beginning.
It's called design for disassembly, and it's exactly what it sounds like. Instead of using permanent welds and glues that are impossible to get apart, you use bolts, screws, and clever interlocking systems. The entire building is designed like a huge complex puzzle that can one day be carefully taken apart piece by piece so that every beam, every panel, and every window can be saved and used again.
And this right here is the night and day difference. Traditional demolition is just chaos. It's a wrecking ball turning valuable materials into worthless rubble. But disassembly, that's a careful, systematic harvest. You're not creating waste. You're salvaging valuable components. You're essentially turning a building's retirement into a resource bank for the future.
So let's just zoom out for a second and tie this all together. We've looked at the birth, the life, and the afterlife. And when you combine all three of those things, the smarter materials, the better methods, and this forward-thinking mindset, you get the complete picture of a really revolutionary model for how we build our world.
This is the circular construction model. It's a closed-loop system where, ideally, nothing is wasted. It fundamentally changes our thinking from that straight line of build, use, and demolish to a continuous circle. A circle where materials are constantly reused, repurposed, and reborn into new things. And you know, this isn't just about being green. It's about being incredibly smart and resourceful.
And so it leaves us all with a pretty profound question to think about. Are we going to keep building for right now, knowing that our creations will eventually end up as waste? Or can we start building for forever, in a way that allows our materials, our resources, and our ingenuity to live on and on.